Well, I think there's still a lot. Obviously, there's still a lot on the line, and we still have a chance at winning the East, which is a huge goal for us. Obviously, we're playing behind Missouri and hoping they need to lose a game, but right now we're just controlling what we can control, and there's still some big games ahead of us, so there's a lot to be motivated about.
What's the mood like in the locker room right now?
We moved on. I mean, we watched the film together yesterday. We talked about it. But the minute we hit the practice field yesterday, we just put it behind us. And, that's the best thing you can do in a game like that. We didn't play our best, so nothing we can do about it anymore. We'll move on and get ready to go for Kentucky.
What did you learn watching the film that you're going to take into Kentucky?
I think there's certain things you learn every week. I mean, I don't think there's, one thing I learned from Florida that I necessarily am going to take into Kentucky. I think there's just some things I've been working on all year, like, my pocket presence, my footwork, and still having that mentality that I'm just going to rip it. Not necessarily one thing from Florida, but just some things over the year that I've been trying to work on and get better at.
Well, I guess a better question would be, when you're watching the tape, when you guys struggled on offense, what did you learn from that you're like, hey, this is something we have to fix when you look at the Kentucky film, so they can take advantage of us the way forward?
Yeah, I just think there were some missed opportunities. I mean, I had some misreads, some places I'd like to go with the ball differently. So you always have those in a couple of games, and then, but just some missed opportunities, not more so than anything that anything that's been new or different. We just had some missed opportunities. I had some missed opportunities. We all did.
What is the key to winning on the road in this league? What do you have to do? What makes it so tough?
Yeah, it's I think you got to start fast. You got to be able to handle a little adversity. Teams are going to usually play pretty good when they're playing in their home stadium. Kentucky, for some reason, always plays us really well when they're at home, and and they're trying to get bowl eligible. They're a lot better team this year than of the past, and so just watching their film and watching them play some of the really good teams out there. It's a different team. They have a different mindset. They play with a lot of passion. So, there's a lot on the line for us in our season. There's a lot on line for their season too.
Unlike any team I think you've played this season, you actually have film of yourself playing against this scheme, against this team. Does that help you at all, or can you kind of reach back to your the time you played against them last season?
Yeah, they're a little different since last year. I think some teams you can look back and it's kind of the same scheme. They still do a little stuff that's the same from last year, but we see some different things they're doing. So we'll go back and watch that game. Already have, but it doesn't really match up as far as what kind of they're doing new this year and compared to the game we played against them last year.
Kind of followed up on that. Last year they were last in the SEC interceptions. They only had 3. This year they have 13. So they've obviously made some changes. Do you see that reflect out in what they do scheme-wise, or are they just more comfortable? I mean, what do you see in them defensively?
Yeah, just they just kind of seem like they always got a guy around the ball. Guys aren't really running wide open, and they're just making plays. I think it's either a batted ball at the line of scrimmage, which is just a good defensive line play. It's a tip ball in coverage, and guys seem to be swarming the ball. There's never really just one guy near the receiver. If there's a tip ball, there seems to be some blue jerseys around. So I think it has to do with hustle and effort, and just they've been making more plays.
Your only losses come after a bye week. Do you think two weeks is almost too much time to prepare?
I haven't had time to sit down and kind of think about that, but I do know both of our losses have come after bye weeks. Sometimes bye weeks come at a really good time. Sometimes they don't. I guess when you look back at this season, we were playing pretty good on the road and leading up to that Florida game, and so hindsight's 2020. So you just kind of move on. But you're dealt with the bye weeks that you're given from the AD or whoever makes the schedule from the NCAA. But you just got to perform better. You can't really make an excuse for it.
Time for one more. You guys seem to the complexion of the game against Florida seemed to change when David Andrews went out and got hurt. Can you talk about what changed in the huddle, what changed on the field with him being out for a while, and then when he came back, and you could tell he was limping around out there?
Well, I mean, David's a guy that's been around for a long time. He's that quarterback of the offensive line. Him and I are really on the same page in everything we do. There's a lot of stuff where, I don't even have to really walk up to the line of scrimmage and do some declarations and change the protection because David really already knows what we're going to do. So it makes my job a little easier. So when you got a new center in there, like Hunter, you're just really trying to make sure that the offensive line understands, who we're trying to protect, what kind of protection we're in. And you're really just trying to make sure that he knows everything. You're trying to make sure he knows what the snap count's on. Snap count kind of changes from play to play. So you don't really take things for granted. When David was in there, you kind of just figured, hey man, we've practiced this all week. Me and him been on the same page. He knows what I'm thinking when they're doing certain stuff. So you just kind of take things at a slower pace.